Dzień dobry. I think we'll start maybe with a story to make sure that after lunch we're all keeping wide awake. And the story I wanted to start with is the fact that there was a prediction made in the year 1890 when Eva was just a young lady. And there was a prediction made in 1890 that in 90 years' time, New York would not exist. So in the year 1890, they looked at the city of New York and they realized that New York was doubling in size every 15 to 20 years. So the population of New York at the time was about 2 million people. And so they predicted, okay, the population of New York by 1980 will be about 20, 25 million people. For those 20 to 25 million people, we will need 6 million horses to transport that population around the city of New York. And I don't know if anyone in our audience today owns a horse. But if you do own a horse, you would know that the average horse excrements 35 to 50 pounds of horse dung every single day. So 6 million horses in 1980 predicted would have covered every single block of New York with 9 feet of horse dung. Hence, New York would not have been habitable. And they said New York won't exist in 1980. This is a true story. It's known as the horse dung crisis of 1890. And they really debated this. And why is this relevant for what we're going to talk about today? Is because I think the mistake they made in that prediction in 1890 is very similar to the mistakes we make in GBS today, which is when we think about the future, we think about lift and shift. We think about, okay, if the population grows, and everything else remains the same, then by 1980 we have a problem. The reality is everything else doesn't remain the same. And so when we talk about this story today, it is around, not just around AI, it is around reimagination. Reimagining what your future could look like, redesigning the way that you're working, and setting the right foundations so you really get the success from AI and transformation. Because a frog doesn't hold on to one lily pad. It keeps making progress step after step. And at that note, I'll just introduce Kinga to talk us through the story with Żabka.
Thank you, Rakesh. I still don't know if I like this story or not. But before I start my story, I would like to ask you a question. Did you ever feel that the business you are serving is growing faster than your operating model in shared service can keep up? So I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one.
Because this is...
You can skip Proservantner.
Okay, so because this is exactly what we faced with in Żabka last year. Apparently, it seems that I don't need to introduce myself. So Żabka is not only Żabka with more than 12,000 stores, but Żabka is all ecosystem of other 20 companies that are all dynamic and technology driven. And all these companies have operations that are similar or complementary to what is our core business, which is retail. And as you know, this brand is one of the most recognizable brands in Poland. What we have in common in Żabka Group is fast growth and speed. And this is part of our DNA. And together with this growth and speed, unfortunately, comes complexity. And this is the moment when on stage appears Centrum Usług dla Biznesu, our Żabka Business Services Center. Our center was established 5 years ago, so I may say that we are still a child, and this may be excuse for some things. And we are a group of more than 250 specialists, and we are providing end-to-end services all across Żabka Group companies, including accounting, HR and payroll, master data, indirect procurement, contract management, and administration. And I may say that we are doing well. We have two special features. One is our relation with the customer, because we are something more than just service provider. As Żabka Group is growing so fast, it happens often, or if not always, that we are co-creating processes with the business. It gives us the sensation that we have impact on our business. And second feature, special for us, is that, as you may know, Żabka is really technology-driven. And this fact gives us, in Business Services Center, access to wide range of latest IT tools, as well as to the group of specialists. And we do take a lot of advantage from this cooperation. And generally, within these last years, all our efficiency gains are related to the fact that this close cooperation with IT that we have in our organization. So our business model is built on unique competences and knowledge of our people, which is powered by technology application and, among the others, AI applications. And we are doing well. We are known in the organization for our great productivity, cost efficiency. We are a reliable partner, and we have extreme flexibility in terms of taking over new services and inventing new things that we can do for our customer. However, with the growth comes complexity and scale and pace of changes that increased significantly, especially last year. And unfortunately, in the beginning of the last year, we came to the conclusion that we cannot support the business in an efficient way like this. We need to shift. We need to shift from individual competences to process-driven model of organization. And this is where appears the question, that is the motive of this conference: where is AI in all of this? And here I must say that from the very beginning, as we are experimenting with AI for already 2 years, we knew that we won't start from AI. We would like to start from the fundamentals. We want to build smart processes and only after apply AI, because, as you know, AI just accelerates. If you have inefficiencies and chaos, this will accelerate as well. We experienced this, and we know that we won't commit the same mistake another time. And this is how our journey begins. And we found the partner. The partner is with me on the stage. We are cooperating together. We are on this journey together more than 1 year. And I think that, as I mentioned, Proservantner, professionalism and openness combined with our enthusiasm and curiosity give quite good results. And we knew from the very beginning what is the objective of this cooperation. Yeah? We need to build organization with a shift from people dependency to process-driven organization, process-driven operating model. And this is not that people don't matter, they do. And we won't do any proper transformation without right people. But if you build your model based on individual effort, individual sacrifice and competences, this will be very hard, if not impossible, to scale. Unlike the process-driven model, where you have clarity, you have clear division of responsibility, you have great fundamentals for scaling and great fundamentals for applying of AI tools as well as other automations. And we worked out the plan, but now I ask Anna to present to you.
So I'm Anna, and I've had the privilege to lead the strategy development project together with Kinga and the team, and now to support the implementation itself. As you can see on the slide, we decided not to take the leap of faith, but rather split the journey into 3 phases. And as we go, we build the competencies, we build the capability and readiness. The first phase is nothing else but getting the house in order, right? Before we go further. So this is about process taxonomies across the domains. This is about process mapping, but also establishing service management framework and quality assurance frameworks as well. So We also have at this stage already some targeted automation initiatives, not to wait for perfection, but build while we are transforming, actually. The next phase is a hybrid operating model. So this is where we split the transactional work from the value-add activities, which would be then housed in the centers of excellence. And this is where the AI and technology comes at scale, because we needed to take over, basically, the repetitive tasks and free up the talent for the decision-making processes. And this can only be done while we already have the solid foundation, right? So the first phase is delivered successfully. The last phase is the major business services model with the full management infrastructure in place already. So we have the service management frameworks, quality assurance, continuous improvement, dedicated transformation office and PMO, and all of this equipped with AI and technology, which brings us to Żabka CUDB being a strategic partner for Żabka Group, not a service provider. And, well, this can only happen with the technology, and this will help us to scale the processes, onboard more clients, and expand the services as well, right? Back to you, Kinga.
So as you can see, within all this journey, there is this element of AI and automation application. And how we do this in Żabka. We established what drives innovation in our center. Like 3 years ago, after one of these conferences, we came back with an inspiration and decision that we need to establish a digital transformation initiative in our center. And what we said, we did. For 3 years, we ran something called TC, Digital Transformation Initiative, dedicated only for our Business Services Center. This is not a department, this is not a science lab, this is in fact society, maybe too much said, this is community of several dozen of people, member of the teams across whole shared service center who have something in common. They all share the genuine passion for technology. And they have this something, yeah, this mindset that led them or even forced them to challenge, to change, to implement the changes, sometimes to fail, but to thriving for new solutions, for new applications, for automations. Of course, to make it working, we gave, I hope, right governance and framework. We were able to equip our team with the tools, with a specialist support. They are also supported by analysts, by business architectures, and we have a very strong governance in terms of assessment of these initiatives. What is the differentiator is the fact that they are not only thinking out these ideas, they are implementing these ideas, so they are the owners. We have this ownership and we have this knowledge within our team, which I think is extremely important and what was referred here for a few times already. And what I want to say, why I say this, yeah, because in our toolkit, there is AI as well, yeah, and I was just preparing data before this conference. And apparently, as I said, we are using AI for 2 years already in our organization. And sometimes we succeeded, sometimes we not. What we know for sure, that if you have messy processes, don't apply AI, this won't work, or will work not in the way that you expect. But still, the number of initiatives that we are implementing with AI is constantly growing. So we see that this will be one of the primary solutions, one of the primary drivers of our growth, of our efficiency. But in all this journey that Anya was telling you about, this is that we approach AI as a tool and not as a destination. Yeah, I'm repeating the words of Rakesh from the beginning of this day, but this is what we really believe. And if you ask me what is next, transformation is for me more than just a project, yeah? We need to do the shift in our mindset from reacting to complexity to challenging this complexity to managing this complexity. We know what is the aim. We want to have modern business services center that is working on smart processes amplified by automation and AI application. And as I know Żabka, and I know that change is the only element that never changes, so I know that sooner or later we will do some workarounds, we will do some adjustments, but the direction is clear and we want to follow this direction. And just to emphasize once again, process first and the rest will come after, will follow. Thank you. I forgot about the slide, but maybe...
You can skip it. I think to close, thank you very much, Kinga. I think that process first and the rest will follow really resonates with me, so thank you. To close, what are the 3 big myths that we wanted you to think about as you're going through your own business services transformation? I think myth number 1 is you throw AI at a problem and it works like magic. That's simply not true. You can't buy 10,000 Copilot licenses and then expect a 50% headcount reduction. This is not what reality looks like. So we've learned this through ERP implementations. We've learned this through other experiences. You have to do the hard work and the hard miles. Myth number 2 is ESSA and process don't matter. So ESSA, for those of you that don't know, is eliminate, simplify, standardize, and automate. And we would say, actually, in the world of AI, it matters more. Because why would you use AI on a process you can eliminate? So, but actually, what we would say is you look at elimination first, simplification, standardization, automation, because automation is going to be cheaper than AI most of the time, and then AI. So consider that as part of your toolkit. Because as Kinga said, AI is a tool, not the destination. And the third myth is that you need to work with the big 4 to get the real results. I would argue these boutique consultancies, like this wonderful company we didn't talk about called Proservantner, can help you unlock your business services potential. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to Kinga and the Żabka team
Thank you,
for supporting
Anna.
us through this
Rakesh.
journey. I think they've done a marvelous job. Thank you, everyone.